Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this awesome 2020 Toyota 4Runner SR5. One awesome, true SUV, a true relic of the past. You know, these days, vehicles like the 4Runners are far between. It's a very unique vehicle. If you look at some of the other Toyota vehicles like the RAV4, the Highlander, some other vehicles like the Nissan Pathfinder, the Honda Pilot, they're all basically cars and SUV clothes. They're built on unibody architecture. So basically it's just it's basically a car that's swelled up with an SUV body, but the drivetrain, the way it's built, it's a lot more like a car. Not to say any of those vehicles are not horrible off-road, but the 4Runner is a completely different story. And obviously most people that know about the 4Runners, I don't need to tell them this, but maybe you don't know the difference, and it's quite a big difference. The 4Runner is built on body and frame architecture, truck-based architecture. So it's built like a truck, not like a car. So when you want to do things, truck things like towing, hauling, going off-road, rugged, heavy-duty stuff, you're going to do much better with a body and frame vehicle like this 4Runner versus a unibody vehicle like some of its sister vehicles like the RAV4 or the Highlander, which are basically made just for on-road use and very, very light off-roading, maybe some beat-up dirt gravel roads. This thing's a lot different. This thing can go on some trails. It's not the high-octane TRD off-road edition, but it has a lot of ground clearance. It's got a great four-wheel drive system, and there's tons of aftermarket accessories out there. So if you do want to make this more off-roadable, there's a huge aftermarket catalog and a catalog from Toyota to make this thing even more off-road, capable. But this thing will do just fine in many of the beautiful off-road parks and forest service roads we have here in the Pacific Northwest. I live out in Puyallup, the back door to beautiful Mount Rainier. I recently discovered a lovely well-maintained gravel road outside of Wilkinson that takes you deep into Mount Rainier National Park. There's a few off-road trails off that trail. The vehicle I am in was basically a crossover, so it was fine doing the main dirt and gravel roads, but I saw some really cool trails and I was just hankering to go down there and explore them. The vehicle I was in was fine, like I said, in the dirt roads, but if I had something like this, I would have done a little bit more exploring. So you have a beautiful Pacific Northwest to explore, and this is your ticket to it. If you like to hunt, fish, ski, this is a great vehicle to do it in. And there's something special about this one. Not all 4Runners have this feature, but this actually has a third row seat as well. So those of you who have a bigger family, that third row seat is definitely clutch. It's not maybe great for someone like me who's 6'2", but for those youngsters, they'll fit perfectly fine back there. And another cool feature is a roll down rear window. SUVs in the 1980s and the 90s, this was a normal feature, but this has kind of went away. But our dog Polly would love to be poking his head out there while we're driving down the road. So that's a really cool feature as well. And sometimes it's nice to get a little fresh air without having to roll down all the windows. So that kind of gives you a little bit of ambient fresh air rolling down that back window. So what else do we got? We got a rear parking camera. Great infotainment system, nice leather up steering wheel. This is a one-owner clean Carfax vehicle from the Pacific Northwest. We do have a complimentary Carfax report. Very low miles, only 14,162 miles. This thing is in very nice condition. Still even has a twinge of that new car smell. Adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, automatic dimming mirror. We have a downhill descent control. Lots of cool features. All-season mats. Power driver's seat. I like the black alloy wheel package. Goes nicely with the graphite exterior. Look at all that ground clearance. There's few vehicles you can buy these days that have as much ground clearance and generous departure and arrival angles as this 4Runner. This thing was built to go off the beaten path. Decent amount of space in the second row. And there's the third row seats as well. This one has a tow hitch, obviously. Being built on body and frame architecture, it's also going to be a great tow rig. And when you're not using the third row seats, they stole pretty much flat. And then the second row seats fold fairly flat as well. I don't have them folded down right yet. And then we also have this nice cargo area protector. Keep things nice and tidy back there. It has a nice little lip around it so if things spill, they won't get into the carpeted part. We have the tie downs, 120 power outlet, then the 12-volt power outlet. Love the styling. It kind of has that rugged 4Runner styling we've all come to know so well. For an engine, we have a very reliable, bulletproof 4-liter, 6-cylinder engine. This is all the power you need. You don't need a bigger engine for a vehicle like this. More than adequate. Good compromise between fuel efficiency and power. So there we have it. One awesome 4Runner SR5, beautiful shape, 14,000 miles. We have complimentary delivery to pretty much anywhere in Washington and Oregon. We can put this in our car hauler, tow it to you. So for mobile delivery services, 4Runner could be all yours without leaving your neighborhood or potentially even your driveway. Contact us for more details, and thanks for taking the time today to watch this video.